What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And this one I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some very important levels to be watching for as we progress and something very, very big that's happening on these charts. But before I break things down, this information, before I get into any more details and talk about some data and the charts, let me just mention a few things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. Anyways, guys, the market's in a very, very critical place. Looking at SPY, we have a double top projection that's been forming. And as a result, SPY has been dipping. Actually, it's below its 4-hour 50 EMA, which is a big sign of weakness. However, we haven't lost our neckline quite yet. We haven't lost that 542 area. If we officially lose that, we're going to be looking for an even bigger drop. We're very close to doing so, but I'm going to be watching for that just for confirmation. We're very close to that to see a much bigger drop. Why is the market dipping? One of the reasons is because of the data that just came out. We're seeing more contraction in manufacturing, and numbers are actually looking weaker than expected, especially when you look at the PMI report below expectations, showing contraction, especially because of the fact that we have like these really, really high projections. So I think that the forecast was a little bit hot, which is why the data wasn't looking too good. Not to mention the fact that construction spending is dipping, and prices, although they're decent, manufacturing new orders is also still and not the best of places. It's still very close to consensus. So I'm seeing some signs of weakness, especially when you look at the manufacturing data, and that's part of why the market kind of had a negative reaction. Now, moving forward, what do I see for this, and how do I think the market's going to go from here? I just want to mention that looking at this double top like structure on SPY, excuse me, I'm going to be very, very careful with this. We're trying to hold our 50 EMA, so we have two supports to watch for. We have 543.2, our 50 EMA. If we lose that, I'll be looking at the neckline around 542.5, around that area. If we lose both of those, so 542.5 is the most important one. If we lose the 542s, we're going to go all the way down to the 530s, in my opinion. Like 538 is likely going to be coming, and we're going to see a very, very big rug pull. Losing this means we don't just hold below it for like a minute. We have to actually close below that and actually hold above that key support. If you want to turn back to bullish, you need to see us hold this and try to bounce back up and break past 545. If that breaks, look at 547. If that breaks, then we could be pushing right back up. Now we're still within the realm of this range right over here. We're still kind of stuck within it, but there is a risk of downside. SPY is looking kind of weak right here. So I'll be watching to see if we end up losing critical support for a much bigger drop or not. Make sure you watch those levels. Now, Tesla is actually in a different league of its own today. Tesla's up about 5.7%, outperforming the entire market. Tesla has resistance at 210 and also close to 212. And we have support currently around this 207 area. Why 207? That's because when you look at the 5-minute time frame, Tesla has some very important levels. So right here, when you look at the 5 minutes, you guys can see Tesla's very close to this 20 EMA. That's this 207 area. It's trying to hold there. If we do lose this, I'll be looking at 204, followed by 200. And if we end up holding 207, we could be looking for a rebound back up to 210. Otherwise, Tesla may shuffle for an extended period of time. But even if Tesla does shuffle or even dip a little bit, it's still outperforming the market as it's up over 5%. That's well above what SPY and the QQQ are doing, which is not bad whatsoever. For Nvidia, Nvidia is actually just shuffling as well. I'm going to actually zoom out and go onto the 4-hour time frame just to show you guys something important. On the 4-hour, Nvidia actually has a little bit of a channel that's forming here. So I'm seeing a little bit of weakness right here. And this channel is actually showing more and more signs of weaknesses. Nvidia has been downtrending, and we're once again getting very close to that 120 target. We did touch that, and we kind of rebounded from there. Now we're just shuffling here. So it could dip a little bit more. To turn bullish, you want to see it break past 127. Otherwise, we are going to continue to downtrend. Bitcoin is holding up very, very well. But watch and see if we end up losing 62,500. If we lose that, we'll be looking for a dip down to 62,000. So watch and see how we end up holding. If we do hold 62,500, look for a rebound. Then we have this imbalance to fall all the way up here towards 64,000. Overall, I'd say that Bitcoin's holding up well. So we'll have to see how things go from here. For other factors, we also have the QQQ. The QQQ is also kind of like trading sideways right over here, not really doing a whole lot. But just know that despite us being in this range, there is still a risk of some downside if we end up losing our 50 EMA. If we close below 477, that's the first sign of weakness. And if we end up losing 475 after that, there's going to be even more risks of downside, forming a double top like structure. Now, I'll be watching resistance around basically very close to 480. That's going to be our 20 EMA. And if that breaks, I'll be looking at like 482. But just know there is a risk of some downside. We have a double top, so I'll be watching to see if we end up getting a rejection and if we end up seeing more downside. For Aapl, Apple's also looking pretty interesting. We're actually getting tighter and tighter within this range. So I'll be watching to see how things end up developing right here. As you guys can see, we're just going back and forth between supply and demand, kind of rejecting right here, coming back up, and just continuing to trade sideways. So we're not really doing a whole lot for now. Apple could be retesting this resistance area. If we do reject here, I'll be looking at 212. Otherwise, we're just very choppy on Apple, and we're just trading sideways, so it's not really doing a whole lot. For Coinbase, this is actually doing better than what I was expecting. I was talking about how we had this gap to fill and we also had this resistance. We're actually testing resistance near 230. This also aligns with this channel that we have on Coinbase. So we'll see if this ends up leading to a nice accumulation. We start pushing up higher. If we do close above 230 or break above that, there's going to be some more signs of strength, and this could actually break out of this channel and start pushing higher. If we fail and we end up getting rejection right here at the trend line, I'll be looking for a move back down to 223 to fill the gap. So I'll be watching to see if we close above 230 or not. Overall, it's holding up well. It has more upside potential. For Amazon, we dipped all the way down towards basically the 192 area. And you guys could see how once we touch this, we're starting to rebound a bit towards 196. If that breaks, we could be looking for 198 all over again. If we fail to break 196, we could drop a little bit, but we're holding above our 20 EMA very, very nicely, at least for now. On Meta, we actually got a bit of a rejection right here. We're going to be looking at the support around this 495 area. If we lose that, I'll be looking at 487. If we bounce off this, I'll be looking at 504. Overall, there's a bit of a downtrend right here on Meta. There's a little bit of weakness, so we'll have to see how well this holds up. But overall, it's not too bad. For Microsoft, we actually touched our 50 EMA, trying to rebound a bit. I'll be looking to see if we could hold above 450. If this holds, I'll be looking at 452. If we reject here, we'll be dipping, but overall, it's holding up very, very well, and 452 is on the table. If we lose on Google, if we fail to hold 184, I'll be looking for a dip all the way down to 181. So we have to try to get back above 184, or else we will turn more bearish. So Google is showing some weakness, so be careful with this. We got to get back above 184. On GME, we're showing some weakness right now on the charts. We're actually below 22, which is not the best of signs. And this is, once again, looking kind of weak. We got to get back above 23. And also, I want to get back above 25.3. Otherwise, we're still more bearish. AMC is shuffling around 5, not really doing a whole lot, so there's not much going on with this chart. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. I mean, what I would say that the market, especially some indices out there, not to mention these ETFs, they're showing some weakness. If you look at SPY in the QQQ, we haven't lost critical support, though. We have this critical support to watch where we haven't officially lost it yet. So there is still some life, but we'll have to wait and see if we end up losing it or not. So I'll be very, very patient. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. Please have a great day, and I will most definitely see you guys very soon on the next one. I'll be back in about 2 hours or so, 2 to 3 hours, to give you guys another update. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Be very, very patient with this market, and we'll see how things go. Thanks again, guys, and peace out.